Greetings. Welcome to the latest episode of The Circle. Tonight we'll be discussing a little bit of gun control, talking about that a little bit. I already have the link posted in the comment section, so if anybody wants to join in, just go grab that link and come on in. And we're going to go ahead and start the show out with Uriah's views on gun control, maybe a current policy or ideal policy or the whole shebang. Go ahead and start us off there.
Okay. Gun control is an interesting idea. Um, as being raised in America, I've been raised mostly with a pro arms mentality. So we should be. So I've been raised with the belief that you should always have the right to have a gun. Um, Now, I I guess some of the statistics and empirical data of other countries where there is a large amount of gun control, that shows that there's less violent crimes because of it. From what I've seen. Um,
Now
Now,
that's one thing you always hear is, oh, if you take guns away, then the criminals are going to have the guns and the average citizen won't. But in most of the instances that you hear, like um, Jesus Christ, just based on Australia, Jesus, wow. Like Australia, where they had the mass shooting, and then oh well, all right, you guys don't deserve guns anymore, and everybody's like, oh, all right, we fucked up, and they gave up their guns, and there hasn't been an incident since that I know of. I don't know, I'm not an expert, but and I don't have full statistics. I tried to look up statistics, but finding a proper source and things is it can get tedious. You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry. Go ahead. Ooh, a lot of noise going by. All right. Yeah.
Sorry, some cars going by. Yeah. They a lot of the from what a lot of what I hear, um, is that there is less less gun crimes in places where they have gun control. Now here, it's been we've been had so little gun control for so long that I don't think that if we went with gun control here, it would stop criminals from getting guns. Um, I mean, and not to mention that we are a big this country particularly is big on having having weapons at the ready.
Yeah. And I've now I wish I could remember everything that I heard. Just be talking off of hearsay now, really. But I heard that the Second Amendment, that when it's discussing the rights to bear arms, it talks about. I can't remember the exact wording now. Let me here. Go ahead and talk for a second. I'm gonna look this up. I want to know what I'm dealing with here.
Yeah, I was actually just about to Google gun crime statistics per country.
Yeah,
So
like I say, I tried to do that before the show. I've tried to look up some things just for research beforehand, and it's really hard to find a credible, a knowingly credible source. And on top of that, almost you go to two or three different sites, and they've got like different statistics. You know, it's hard to find, like I said, credibility in those things.
yeah, statistics can be skewed either anyway. I mean, are they including just specifically handguns? Are they doing accidental shootings in that when hunting? Is it Are they doing all violent crimes? I mean, what it depends on the statistic they're actually looking at compared to whether or not they have gun control policy. And then again, on some of them, cause correlation does not necessarily mean causation.
Yeah, that's a big fallacy too. I hear that from a lot of people as well. It's it's another one of those tightrope situations. I got the the actual wording here, and it said, okay, the Second Amendment of the United States reads, "A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." So, I mean that. So, and like I said, I wish I could remember what I was hearing before because someone was saying that this was, and I can't even remember where I heard this now to be able to try to look this up, but someone was saying that this actually refers, this is a well-regulated militia. I'm not sure. See, I can't even remember what they're trying to spin that to.
Well, there's two ways of interpreting that. The first one is that yeah, in order to be able to form a militia, every citizen has the right to keep and bear arms. So, in case an emergency happens, every member becomes an active member of the United States military in protecting the home front. The other one is that it simply has to do with the right is given to people that have served in the military, that they have the right to keep their guns that they have. So those are the two school of thoughts I've heard on it.
See, and okay, now I'm remembering bits and pieces of what I heard before. Something about someone was saying, someone was trying to argue that um, this is trying to not regulate or not let everybody have guns, but it was the right for. Uh, See, now I can't even remember. I'm losing it again. I can't get a coherent point. I can't remember enough of it to get a coherent point.
Yeah, it's
Doesn't matter.
it's the right for the militia to keep a guns, or keep guns in like the at the what is it, the armory or the National Guard armory, for example, and then everybody would have the right to be able to use that in case of an emergency, things like that. How, but that the problem that I have with that is that that's not bearing arms. So to bear arms means to have it at the ready.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's not to have an armory, an accessible armory. Uh, yeah. Okay. So
Sorry, I'm just waiting for cars to go by.
yeah. No worries. So we agree here then that is fairly clearly stating that the individual citizen is allowed arms.
Yeah, I mean, the way I read it, it says, basically, because a well regulated militia um, is important to a country, the right to keep and bear arms of the people shall not be infringed. That way, in case they need to form a militia, everybody has guns and everybody has armament.
Yeah, that.
in in a way, it basically, if you think about it, in a way, it keeps costs of having to provide weapons to a home militia down.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
In a way, it's a good way to keep the cost of arming a militia at the home, down in case there's attack on American soil.
Having each person, yeah, having condition having keep their own guns, basically. Yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, and it was basically in response to the guerrilla warfare tactics that they had to do during the Revolutionary War.
That's what I was just going to say. Yeah, and I was just about to say, and you have to think about when it was written. These people were, there was no well-structured, well-funded military. It was them. They were the people. That's what it says: of the people, by the people, for the people. Did I get that wrong? It just sounded wrong. anyways, the point remains. The United States is supposed to be this nation that's built by the people for the people. And that translated into the military at that point in time highly.
Right. And also, I mean, if you think about it like this, if you're in in an area where the military, where you're not around a military base, and let's just say somehow a group of a group something like the movie Red Dawn happens.
I don't think I saw that one.
You didn't even see the old one from the 80s?
No, I don't think so. I was never into the
Oh.
movies.
Oh, but basically,
just give a quick synopsis of it so we can understand what you're getting at.
Basically, the military's out overseas. They get into a position where they're too spread out. The enemy comes down, paratroops into the main cities and takes over the main cities and the National Guard, and prevents the troops from being able to come home without being destroyed. On top of that, now they have control of the mainland, and basically what happens is a bunch of high school kids start the fighting and start taking out the enemy troops. Led by that was weird. I just heard something weird behind me. Anyway, led by a group that is, or led by a person who just got back from a honorable discharge from the military, which is the older brother of one of the high school students.
All right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But in case something like that happens, and the last time that really happened was, I believe, the War of 1812, when the United Kingdom or England actually came back, and they actually burned down the White House.
Yeah.
But that was, yeah. So I mean, but the fact that we have so many people and everybody has the right to a gun, is the reason why there's never actually been a land attack since then on this country, except for, unless you want to count the Civil War.
Yeah, that makes sense. I see we have a viewer. If that person was not viewing when we first started, I've already posted the link in the comments section of the actual event page. So if you wish to join, just go ahead and click that and join on in. So in the context of the age that was written, it seems pretty obvious that what they were trying to build.
Yeah, I think they were specifically because they had to win the independence in the manner that they did. They wanted to make sure that that every person could be a part of the militia if there was ever an attack on the home front.
Yeah, so the question, I guess, now would be, in this modern day and age, with the well-funded is an understatement, the well-funded military, do we still need such arcane? Maybe something like that could be help then and a hindrance now. Do we still need such a law? Is basically what I'm getting at.
Well, there's two school of thoughts you can go with that. One is the military can pretty much get anywhere fast enough where we don't need to worry about
helicopters, jets. Oh yeah, they got it all. Drones.
Yeah, we really don't have to worry about an attack on the home front like they did back then. I mean, they had to ride 50 miles on horseback.
Yeah.
We don't have to do that now. Now we just jet on over here and say, hey, bomb this place. This is where the rebels are. Drop something there.
Yeah.
But then again, what's this? If we do have gun control and none of the citizens has guns, what's to stop the military from doing a hostile takeover?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And forming a fascist dictatorship.
Then again, I mean, even if we all had fully automatics and bazookas and all that, we would still stand no chance against the government with the drones and the computer warfare, and you know what I mean. They would. The government would be able to shut down infrastructures, and that's one thing that I like. I don't really see many wars being fought on the physical front anymore. Like when so many things you can shut down power and water, all with a computer from wherever you're sitting, and and if you take I mean, see, the point of a physical overthrow of the government would be to take power from the government. People are like, we need our guns because if the government fucks up, we're going to go take the power back. But anymore, the power that the government has is basically in their technology.
Yeah. I don't know if you've done any work with the hacker community, but that's not a problem.
No, I haven't really.
Yeah.
I'm too dumb for that.
No, I've been working. I've been working on computer security for years, and really, we're the ones that are like posting about, hey, it's so easy to get into our stations here just by ourselves. I mean, the government obviously hasn't been able to keep up on securing these things. So I mean, it's not, if that were to happen, as soon as they shut it off, we'll turn it back on.
Wait, clarify that, please. I'm kind of confused again.
Okay. Well, the government has been, from doing tests and people on their own checking.
You can hack into the places that they turned off and turn them back on.
Right.
Okay. All right. I got the context. All right. Yeah. And that's just from my point of view. I really don't see, especially if some fascist dictator comes and takes over the United States government and all that. I don't see us viably. I don't see anybody. It doesn't matter how many people there are viably, storming the White House, or you know what I mean. I see it very easily being able to take power back from them via technology and computers. But I mean, maybe not very easily, but
yeah. If she's, you hear so many things about people breaking into government controlled and military controlled installations just because they're searching for classified UFO stuff, which is bugs the heck out of me why people would do that. But yeah, so they're breaking into military places just to find crap like that. Why not? Why couldn't we as citizens hack into where they control the drones and start controlling a drone to them?
So then I bring it back to the question: is the Second Amendment arcane? Is it outdated? Is it unnecessary? Maybe it's harming us. Maybe by having something in there stating that we need to stay well armed like that is putting the wrong message into the heads of Americans like that, and not letting the reality that having guns lying around everybody's house results in more people getting killed.
Yeah, I would attend that the need for a gun is not what it used to be. So I mean, really, then again, you have to question, well, what is a civilian's right? I mean, perhaps it's not. Maybe, do we have the right, if we're broke, to go out and hunt?
If you buy a hunting license, you pay for it.
That's that.
Basically.
Well, that's another thing. That if I'm starving and I need to hunt for food, I'm not going to buy a license.
Yeah, yes, that's the paradox of it. So yeah, technically you are allowed to go out and hunt, but you have to pay for the right basically beforehand.
Right. And you know, just like if I'm homeless and all I have is a tent and a fishing rod, I'm gonna go fish. I don't care
Yeah,
about a fishing license, and
yeah, exactly.
they can cite me all they want, but I'm still gonna fish, and they just won't get the $25 for the citation.
So I mean, so what is your personal views on this? Are you of the camp? Do you think that we should update the Constitution to get rid of this um, nonsense, if you will? I mean, I'm not of the. Let me clarify. I'm not of the camp that guns should be taken away from people in the least. But this seems to be an arcane law in my eyes. At the same time,
Um, shoot, I'm actually, you know, I'm conflicted with it because I mean the one thing that people don't realize is that it's not a gun law. It's an arms law. And arms does not just refer to guns, it refers to all sorts of armament.
so I don't know if anybody ever watches like the Magic Sandwich Show, but there's a guy
Yeah.
there. Uh, he made the argument one time about how like if you had a handgun, that's for self defense. You can aim that, shoot that. But like, what about what about a hand grenade? You know, like, would it be all right for somebody to be just walking down the street with a hand grenade? You know, what purpose, what good could come from normal citizens owning and uh, brandishing hand grenades?
Well, I mean, I can actually own styrofoam and gasoline, can't I?
Yeah, I think the difference being, the difference being you're in um, not good standing, but you're in good faith to use those to hold hold ice to keep a soda cool or to run your car. Whereas what other purpose could a hand grenade serve at any point in time? At any a hand grenade is not like you can't aim it, and there's no way of controlling who it hurts and who it doesn't hurt.
Right. So, but I mean, I mean, we can. I mean, we can go to the. I mean, we can go. It's. I think it has to do with like. Well, I mean, what about knives?
Oh shit! I just dropped that all over my lap. Well, I mean, a knife can't be comparable to a hand grenade, right? I mean, with a knife, you have at least more precision, more control, more. You're not gonna destroy a room and kill people next door with a knife.
Right,
Yeah.
but I'm saying where does the free where does the taking away of this of the liberty end?
Good question.
I mean, right, I may not see a point of being able to carry a hand grenade or a pipe bomb or something like that. But then again, if we start regulating the law as to what armaments we're allowed to have, pretty soon we won't be able to have a kitchen knife.
Yeah, I think that's a slippery slope fallacy.
Well, I mean, the law is built on a slippery slope because it specifically says armament. It specifically refers to armament, not just
And, and,
muskets or
and
loaded
that's exactly
weapons.
why I say it's an antiquated law or an antiquated amendment and should be updated.
Yeah, I would say clarification and updation.
Especially because back then all you had were fucking muskets and cannons. That was like it. I
That
mean,
and
your
that and of course
blunderbuss.
that and your battle axe and your
Yeah.
and possibly a nice decorative sword, like
Right.
a rapier.
So nowadays you're having fully automatic weapons. You have rocket propelled grenades. You have hand grenades that can take out entire rooms. You have drones and all of that. This needs to be brought into the modern age with modern technology.
So, but all of the other thing is that all of those pieces, right, can be made and delivered. As I mean, we could buy drones that people use for hobby videos. We could take one of those, attach um, a pipe bomb to it, and then go blow somebody up like that. And it's all homemade, and we can't regulate it, and they can't really regulate it. So is it really gonna? Is that really gonna stop people from that want to do these things from doing it?
Uh, no, but it'll limit access from people from being able to just get pissed off and well, I mean, maybe not a homemade pipe bomb,
Right, right. Maybe not a homemade pipe bomb with on a radio controlled car.
but stopping hand grenades from being sold in the stores is going to keep someone from just fuck it, I'm going to go buy that $25 hand grenade and toss it through your window.
Yeah, it would stop that, but I mean, it would. I guess it would depend on how determined the criminal is.
Yeah, and and with see how do I say this? With the restrictions and things like background checks and things like 10-day waits, those help quell instances like that. You get pissed off and you go to buy the thing. Well, you got to wait 10 days, and by then you've rethought it and whatnot. I'm not saying that they have perfect laws on the books now, but I mean, like I say, I hear about Australia where a big shootout happens, and then they just take away all their guns, and now they just don't have gun violence really anymore. Could you find statistics on that, by the way?
Yeah, I don't know if you checked the chat. I did pull up a thing on Wikipedia.
Let's see here. All right. This is an incomplete list of 75 countries and dependencies which may never be able to satisfy particular standards for completeness. Okay.
Yeah, that's the first thing that I saw.
All right, total. So let's see. Where's America here?
That's down by.
Oh man, they're at the opposite ends of the two lists.
Yeah. They don't appear to be in order because I see us right next to someone that's 0.1 on 8 on the suicide.
Oh, God, finding all that.
We're at 2.83, but what? I know there's more than 2.83 homicides by guns. What is this? This is the rate, right?
Homicide, yeah.
Per 100,000. Okay.
Point. So our total is like 10.8. It was saying, and Australia is 0.86 as of 2011.
Yeah, but of homicide, it's only 2.83 as of 2012 for homicide rate of guns.
In America?
Yep.
So where is the
Suicide rate
the
is,
suicide?
yep, it's 6.3 on the suicide.
And here in Australia, you have 0.62. So what could be the possible reasoning behind why six? What it's 6 people per 10,000
Per 100,000.
or per 100,000.
Right.
That I mean, that doesn't seem very high to me. Like, and like I don't know. I remember hearing about suicide rates in different times, and there's people like throwing themselves off bridges and shit. You know, like I
Right,
don't
but
know. Maybe I'm just mixing facts or something.
yeah, but you have to remember in New York there's 10 million. So
Okay.
there's, I mean, in New York City alone, there's 10 million.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Numbers. That puts that back into perspective. All right.
I mean, so then multiply that by 5 to get an idea for the 5 biggest cities in the United States.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
I mean, by
Okay.
that point we're already over, what, over 50 suicides.
So is Australia's banning guns to and now these statistics would be just gun violence. It would or gun suicides. It would not be any other form of suicide. It would just
Right.
be
Right.
so
This is firearm related death rate
okay.
by country.
So does so is the rate lower in Australia because less people are shooting themselves, or because they ban guns so they can't get a hold of guns? Thereby, see, I'd like to. Well, uh, it'd be interesting to know the suicide rate of Australians. I guess the suicide rate in general and the suicide rate of Australians in general, and check to see because maybe the people aren't using guns. In which case, that's not that big of a leap in statistics. You know, they're
Right.
just not doing it this way.
Right. And then what about bludgeonings to death?
Yeah.
I mean, it. I mean, yeah. When you get rid of guns, it's going to lower gun related crime. But does it really lower crime?
See, that's a good question.
I mean,
That's unintentional and undetermined. So they don't even have here like uh, robberies or um, I guess that would be homicides. Huh?
yeah, yeah. If you're killed during a robbery, that's considered a homicide.
And homicides in America here was, let's see, damn, this list is big. Right. 2.83. And in Australia, it's 0.11. So that's a pretty damn big difference right there, though. I mean,
Yeah, and what's their population?
ooh, that's a good
So,
question.
I mean, this is per 100,000. So, I mean, it's not really going to change that much. But I mean, like in total body count, it'd make a difference.
23.13 million.
Okay, so they have about the population of 3 or 4 cities of 3 or 4 of the big cities in the United States.
Damn, that
I
is
mean,
crazy.
New York and LA alone each have like around 10 million apiece.
So then, question: could the less gun violence be simply because there's less people?
It's possible, or that it goes, or it's less reported. Who knows?
Less reported. Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, it is a big leap for the per capita. When you look at just per so much per 100,000, but it's way more prevalent here because even though we have that statistic, and even though it is fairly high compared to some of the other places, um, per capita, if you think about it, I mean, we're going to see it a lot more simply because of how big we are.
Yeah. You have the population of 505 cities here. You have the population of 10 or 12 of those cities here, and there's just more people. They're going to do the thing. But wouldn't
I
they
mean,
do?
and
But that's the question, though, is if they're doing those things statistically higher, or right? They can sort that
look at,
out by math, then, though, right? I mean, I can't
yeah,
do math, so.
but look at Uruguay and then look at Venezuela.
Let's see here. Pop back to there. Oh, you know what? I should do this.
South Africa is 17, Venezuela is 39, and that's just homicide. Philippines is 3.24. Panama is 16.10.
All right, so let me show this off here. We have list of countries by firearm-related death rate. All right, let me scroll down here a bit. Argentina is 10. Interesting.
And Swaziland is 37.
28. Let's see here. We're all the way down here. United States 10. Uruguay's 14. Does Uruguay have any? Yeah, Venezuela's 50, 50.90. Do they have any gun restriction laws?
Let's see here.
Sweden. This is interesting, but for that Jamaican 39 and Honduras 64. I think that's the biggest on the list. El Salvador 46. 28. So,
Okay, I just hit the button so I could see them by number to see which one's the highest and lowest. Let's see here. Go by the highest. On homicides only. Honduras is the highest with 64. We are... Let me count here. We're like 19th out of the 75.
that's pretty high.
And that's with the that's by the homicide only.
But that is exponential growth. So it's not like we're actually that high in numbers compared to the highest. But so that brings me back around to: do they have any gun control laws? Are they harsher? Are they non-existent? I mean, are they? I mean, there's got to be some way of narrowing that down, right, and figuring out why these places are.
Well, Venezuela is supposed to be having. Apparently, they're supposed to have the best gun control laws.
Really?
Yeah.
Send me any links you get. I want to I'll screen share them so that anybody viewing it later can see.
Let's see here.
Well, it looks like today's show is going to be a very short show because no one's joining in to give us their opinions. Yeah, that sucks. We had someone watching for a second.
And yeah, they ban private gun ownership. Here, let me share the link from the BBC.
All right, let's see here. Let's go to screen share. Ooh, I almost laughed. All right, Venezuela has brought a new gun law into effect which bans the commercial sale of firearms and ammunition.
And that link was in 2012. So, fairly a while ago.
It found that over 70% of all homicides in South America are a result of guns. In Western Europe, the figure was closer to 25%. Very interesting. And this sampling,
According to this, that sampling was from 2000. So I'm wondering what it was before that. Does it say it in the? Does it say it in the thing, in the news article?
no, not that I saw here. Let me take another one. Bam. Yeah, redirect for your eye. Well, Venezuela saw more than 1,800 murders last year at in the capital. Caracas is thought to be one of the most dangerous cities in Latin America. Honduras government says the ultimate aim is to disarm all civilians, but his opponents say the police and government may not have the capacity or the will to enforce the law.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what the current statistics are after the law was passed. Let's see here. Let's say 2014.
That's weird that its most recent poll statistics would have been from 2000, 15 years ago.
Yeah, and then I just looked here. It says here estimates. Let's see here. Estimates of like 24,000 murders last year. Last year confirmed. This was back in 2013.
So a year after the gun control initiation.
Yeah, and it's a 14% rise on 2012. So they put the ban in 2012, and it apparently is a. Here, let me give you a. Let me give you the link.
Yeah.
So you can screen share it. It's about a quarter to halfway down.
Oops,
Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth paragraph in the article tells you that tells you the numbers of murders, and that's a 14% rise from 2012. 2012 is when they started the law on the ban on guns.
Last year, Venezuela was branded the most dangerous country in Latin America. 2010 UN report placed it among the top 4 most dangerous countries in the world. While the government has refused to release its own statistics for years, a recent report by the NGO, the Venezuelan Observatory on Violence, estimates that 24,000 people were murdered in 2013 alone, a 14% rise since 2012. Wow. With 9 out of 10 homicides going unsolved. So they had a 14% rise of the year after banning the guns.
Yeah, and the next paragraph says, and despite recent government efforts to curb firearms, Venezuela is most weaponized place in the world.
That almost just brings up more questions than it helps to answer, you know. So if we have America, who's founded on, our right to each have our guns, and then the rest of the world's like, oh well, that's why there's so much gun violence. But then you look to Honduras, who's had it.
Actually, Venezuela.
Venezuela, yeah, thank you. Who's attempted this same type of thing, and they have even more, gun homicides. And I know there's probably a million variables at play there, which is why it's not so simple. But it just you'd think some statistics like that would try to help make the picture a little bit clearer, not muddy it up more.
Right. And let's take a look here. And I'm looking at the population of Venezuela. Current population is about 31.5 million.
It's only 10, 11 points above Australia.
But get this, the deaths per year is 63,165. So about a third of the deaths are by guns.
Wow. So maybe they're just like murder hungry down there. I mean, see that muddies up the picture even more.
Yeah. So maybe what the NRA says is correct. Guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Oh, wow. Damn. I was hoping we could at least clear up a little bit of a viewpoint on an issue here. We just muddied things up even more. Well, yeah, I mean, then you bring up, like we were saying earlier, with all the weaponized drones and computer viruses and anything like that, and now you got a swimming pool, not a conversation.
Yeah. But so I mean, I'm under the impression that this could just be an outlier in the statistics too. I mean, when you look at when you look at that first list, I mean, there's only 1, 2. There's only 11 out of the 75 that are actually double digits in the homicide rate.
We're one of them. That sucks.
No. I'm talking about in the homicide rate, not total death.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were. Yeah, in
On
2.
On the homicide, we're down at 2.83. We're just under
Yeah.
3.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Huh. And
So
go ahead.
basically, what it looks like we should do is what we should get more gun control to stop suicides, according to that list.
Yeah. Wow.
But then people just jump off bridges, so it's not really going to stop it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Huh. Well, I mean, then again, you never know. Maybe those people wouldn't without a gun.
Yeah. So, but
Then again, look at Robin Williams. Jesus, some people just don't want to live anymore.
yeah, and our unintentional, that's our accidentals.
Yeah, how big is that one for America? For the United States?
United States, that is going to be 0.3.
Interesting. You have 0.3 of people per 100,000 having this happen.
Yeah, out of 100,000.
Huh.
That's the accidental shootings.
Interesting.
I mean, the unintentional accidental shootings and and probably some of the undetermined, which are only 0.1, those can probably be taken out with gun control.
Yeah.
I don't think homicides will be out. Now, the one thing that those reports that last report said, it didn't say how many were actually how much was actually done by guns. It just says homicides.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
So I just thought it was interesting that they got rid of guns and there was a 14% increase in homicide rate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
heck,
it muddies the waters up so much for this conversation.
I mean, they could just be really pissed that they don't have guns anymore.
Guns, yeah, rioting.
But I mean, I really have. I mean, where I grew up, I mean, you heard gunshots every night, and there's the ghetto chop running around, the ghetto bird running around all night. I mean, it's not like it's the idea of having a gun hasn't affected me.
And what do you what's your personal view on it?
Personal view is that it's not going to. I don't think it'll stop violence. It'll stop particularly that type of violence, but the violence will just be redirected to something else.
So, I mean, would you be in favor of more stricter gun control, or are you a proponent of people being allowed to have guns in their house or on them or whatever the argument is?
Well, I'd say we're at a point where we really can't go back. I don't think we're at a point where we can take it back because this is what the country is.
Mm-hmm.
It would be great if we could, but how many people would actually comply? What about people hunting? What about people what about Olympic marksmen? Are they going to be able to have a gun?
Yeah, that's all good points. Yeah. And I mean, shooting for fun, that's damn fun. I love
Yeah.
guns. I'm not against guns in the least. I don't like gun violence, but I'm not against guns in the least. So
Yeah.
it's a
So
tough. That's what I was saying. I wanted to try to bring some statistics into it, and then that just muddies the shit out of things.
I mean, I I think perhaps stricter gun control. If somebody wants a gun, they're going to get it from their buddy. They're going to have their buddy. They're going to give their buddy the $500 to go buy it.
So here's another thing now is 3D printing. How are you going to control guns when you can just print one out in your living room?
Yeah, I don't know if it's quite that. I don't think it's doing something that's quite that advanced as far as the metallurgy. I mean, really, if it's printing out a gun, it's
And they have
mainly going to be
plastic.
plastic.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's going to be
they
plastic.
have them. They work. They have them. They work. I've seen
Yeah,
them.
yeah, but how? Well, I seen one. I've seen an example of one that was made out of plumbing parts in a prison. It shot like three. It shot like 5 rounds before it fell apart. So I mean, if people want a gun, they're going to get a gun. If they can make if they can make one in prison, then they're gonna have a gun.
Hey, I knew what I was looking for. Let's see here.
And I hope somebody joins in because I have like 20 minutes left. I have like 20 minutes before I try to find a place. I'm walking around here for a sec.
Can you see this at all?
I have my thing off. I'm on video. I don't have video. Let me pull it up. Yeah.
Let's see. Where's the part where it says? Ah, here we go. Don't care. Just don't care. Just get to the part where I don't know, man. I don't know. I see the opposite of that. I see people being able to print. I mean, I'm pretty sure I even saw someone who had figured out how to print the parts for like an automatic rifle.
Yeah.
I don't know, and that's the thing with the technology the way it is. Like, I can see us not making any changes for a long time. Big changes, anyways. And I can also see us being able to, someone inventing someone that can take garbage and break it down into the matter used in the 3D printers. You know what I mean? To have a full, like, just be able to recycle anything into anything else. You know what I mean? I just
Right.
I don't see necessarily something like that happening right now, but I definitely can see I definitely see the possibility of it. I mean, we're 3D printing food now. We're 3D printing guns, like they're saying, everything.
Yeah, I mean it will eventually get to be about like that what we used to see on Star Trek.
Yeah, exactly. The replicator. That's what I was trying to. So if we do get to the point where we can just 3D print guns, where does then the standing on that would have to be that people have the right to have their guns, because how can you not have the right to? Well, I mean, that'd be restricting what you can 3D print.
Yeah, it would be restricting that. It would be restricting basically the home use of the legitimate use of your product, of the product you purchased. And what would be the purpose of that?
Then again, to use the printer, you might have to check an agreement thing, and just like how iTunes has that mundane agreement there about how you can't use it for nuclear warfare, nuclear warheads. You know, I'm sure you've seen that line in the agreement thing. And so they might slip something like that in, and that way, if you just by using the thing, you're acknowledging you won't use it for things like that. And if you do, you're breaking the contract of the usage of it. I mean, even the way oh shit, what was it? Even the way songs are on digital format, you're not even buying the songs anymore like you used to. You know, you used to be able to at least resell the cassette or resell the CD. You know, and nowadays you're not legally allowed to resell the digital music, and
I don't know what this purchase of music thing you're talking about is.
you know, and I mean, so
I haven't done that in years.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, like my point with that. So you know, so just by like say making a copy, like buying off of iTunes a song and burning it onto CD, and someone buying that off of you or whatever is illegal. Whereas you used to be able to secondhand sell your CD at a garage sale, and that's not technically illegal.
No, you're not actually selling them a CD. You're actually just letting them borrow it with a $3 deposit in case they don't return it.
Well, see, the thing about CDs, you're allowed to sell them because of the fact that you're not allowed to make another copy. That's where the music thing lies. You're allowed to sell. You know, I have this object. I'm allowed to do whatever I want with this object, break it, but I can't copy it. That's where the money thing comes in. You know, and so by selling that CD is legal to do, but when it becomes digital, then you're to give it to you, then you're making a copy of it, and that's why it's not legal. You know, and well, I mean, I guess that really doesn't. But by using it, you're voiding your agreement, basically. You know.
Yeah, I don't ever pay attention to those agreements because it's like, what am I going to use it for? I mean, I'm not going to. In fact, that's specifically the reason why I don't use iTunes, is because I don't want to have to sign an agreement to where I can't pass it on.
Yeah, that makes sense. Not even getting into the agreement in the first place. Then again, I mean, how could you use iTunes? I mean, that makes me weary that it actually has that little bit in there. That, like, well, what can you do with it? I mean, can you really use iTunes to navigate a nuclear warhead? Or, I mean, what the fuck's going on there? You know?
Well, maybe you have to use iTunes to jailbreak a phone so that you can use the parts to use the GPS, so that you can use it as a guidance system for a thermonuclear weapon.
Maybe.
That's very contrived and outlandish, but I mean, I guess, I don't know. I haven't looked into being able to make into doing anything like that because I've had no reason to, so I wouldn't know.
Right. So my point being, though, so what you can make, like, so by as a way of stopping things like firearms being 3D printed, if and when gun control, they would try to control these things. Doing something like a warranty, or not a warranty, but an agreement thing like that would, I guess, be one of the only ways really to control something like that. If you 3D print something, we'll see. That's the thing. How would you be able to tell? What would be the repercussions? I mean, with music, they can
Yeah.
take you to court.
Yeah, unless you have it specifically plugged into the internet to where you can where they can monitor what you're printing. Like for example, if you're using like a Chromebook, it sends the application to like your online, and then goes from online down to your printer. If you're using a Chromebook, it's really contrived how the Chrome operating system has to do printing. I never understood it, but but unless you have to pass all the stuff that you're going to 3D print to your through the internet to be inspected and for it to be logged, then I don't understand how they would be able to regulate that.
Yeah,
And
the printer
and
itself would
and
have to
on top
regulate or something, and that would just wouldn't pan out.
and on top of that, I mean, what's to stop someone from putting a proxy server in there that mimics that and then bypasses it?
Yeah, good point. I mean, so even in this day and age, if people wanted to be, to have guns taken away, people are just gonna be able to print them out in their home here in 10 years, 15 years.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe one day we'll have to worry about phaser laws.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to change violence. I think it will eliminate if we get clamped down on gun control, it'll stop that type of violence, but it won't stop actual violence. It'll just turn it to something else. And we'll probably see more stabbings or more bludgeonings rather than shootings.
To one. And I mean, I'm of the opinion, if nothing else, like, there's no need for the average citizen to have things like assault rifles or fully automatic anything. I mean, if we ban things like that, then mass shootings will not be able to take place. So, not handguns, not like normal rifles and whatnot, not even really semi-automatic, but the fully automatic. They're just unnecessary. That they just you'd be able to cut down on. You'd be able to cut down on at least the rate, the amount of people, injured by these types of things.
Yeah, and come on, it's not like you're using an AK for hunting dove.
Right. So I mean, if you want to have, well, see, and that's the thing though. It's fucking awesome to go shoot a fully automatic weapon in the range. It's awesome. I don't deny it in the least. I love guns. I always say that, but just sensibility seems to be a better route than, well, I just love guns. I love the noise. I love the feel. So hey, let's just let people get killed by these so that I can have fun. Everyone, so like. That's kind of bullshit.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I'm not able to find a place to actually plug in at, and I got like 10 minutes left of battery.
All right, I think I'm just going to go ahead and end the show here. I think we had a great talk, man.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
well, I'm so like I said, I'm kind of like out of ideas. I was going to try to do a show on Wednesday, and I don't know anything. So if anybody watches this has any ideas for topics or conversations or whatnot, please let me know so I can start scheduling some more shows.
All right. And well, I do want to say then have a good night.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks for talking with me.
Not a problem. And if anybody was watching this and whoever will watch it on YouTube, have a good night.
Peace.